Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 144. Today's date is May 22nd, 2022, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Well, if you can't tell by the way I sound, I've been sick.
Yeah, you can hear it a little bit.
This is the first
It's early.
time in at least a decade I've been sick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
Yeah, I'll have allergies every once in a while, and that's not a big deal. That doesn't really stop me from doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I've essentially spent the weekend in the bed. So, yeah, we're not going to run over on time this week, 100% sure. I've got a real sore throat, so talking is a bit painful. So we're definitely going to get straight to the point
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of this. And I am so sorry, Carl, for all of these sniffles you'll probably be editing out. I really apologize.
Leave them in there. Leave them in. Everyone knows you're sick anyway. Just leave it in there, Carl.
That's true.
Carl will take them out. Carl's a perfectionist.
Yeah. And the random muting I'll do to cough.
Mm-hmm.
But I have done some work this week. I don't know if I want to spoil the first part of my episode because it was really fun to make. You know, I won't spoil it. I've been doing a lot of fun intros lately, or at least 2 in a row that I think people might enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave that one, no spoilers.
I got a sneak peek. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I did some villager work, which is the first time in a while, breeding those guys. I was gonna move villagers on stream, and then I got sick, and I didn't stream and I didn't play, so that kind of stinks. But one of the things I've complained about all season is lack of redstone. So my next episode, I was like, I'm gonna figure out a way to get me some redstone. A lot of people were just like, just go mining for it. I don't like mining.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds weird to say mining in Minecraft stinks, but
I think you borrowed some from me. Like, yeah, here you go. That's how you get it.
I did. But yeah, mining is not fun to me. It's the most boring part of Minecraft. So I don't like to do it. I like to build farms to passively get me things. And you look at redstone farms, the easiest one's a witch farm.
Mm-hmm.
Not a real witch hut near me. I don't want to have to travel thousands of blocks to get to a witch hut. A raid farm works well, but to get the...
Oh, that's right. There are witches in Raid Farm.
Yep.
Very small quantity, though, so that would hurt that.
But with these new stacking raid farms, you could get a massive amount in a short amount of time.
Didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. But to get the bad omen effect, you need a pillager outpost, and again, there's not one nearby me.
Yeah, I think there's a couple on the server already.
Yeah. So I just went back to doing my villager thing, and I was looking up trades for my stonecutter villagers. The main block is quartz, but I was like, well, what other blocks could I get with these guys? And I just so happened to look over, and it turns out clerics trade emeralds for redstone.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that. So I'm now designing a cleric tower, which is really just a witch tower that's going to house these guys. I'm going to have I think 4, I decided maybe 5 roaming around in this thing. It'll be the first time I have villagers able to roam.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. I got to make sure they can't get in and out and nothing else can get in and out. But yeah, Cleric Tower, I'm looking forward to that. I've got an idea in my head. I've got the framework already built out. I'm hoping to do a little bit more this afternoon. We'll see how I'm feeling. But that's basically been my week. How about you?
I like the idea of the Cleric Tower. On my base, I was doing a couple buildings to house my villagers, and I wanted to make the buildings correlate with the type of villager it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a Cleric Tower, like magical tower, I'm thinking up in my head.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be perfect. I don't have any clerics, or else I'd steal that idea. But yeah, I like that. Me, I haven't done any recording this week because last week I was on every day trying to finish my Heaven Palace. Heaven, pretty much. Not just the palace. I put in the portal for Heaven, the walkway, and did the palace all within that week, pretty much. I started later. It probably took me a little over a week, but yeah, I haven't been on recording much. I did a little bit of the interior, and I don't think I mentioned this. We didn't record last week, if you guys noticed the dates, but I did finish all that. It's on my YouTube. I'm really happy the way it came out.
Beautiful build.
Took me forever to design it. Thank you. Took so long to design it. Even longer to build it in survival. Had to go after blocks many times. But yeah, it turned out great. Like I said, I was on the server a lot during that time. And most of my time wasn't building. It was out gathering resources, quartz mainly. I tried to trade for some. And then, you can only trade for so much in a day with a villager. So in order for me to get it quicker, I just go into the Nether. And I don't mind mining for all that stuff if I have to. If I know I have to get things done, I'll go after it.
Going and getting quartz isn't that bad of an issue for me. It's the
branching.
Yeah, branch mining, if I do it wrong, will give me motion sickness, and that'll last hours for me. So to me, like, everyone's like, why do you hate the beginning of every season? It's like, well, because most of the time I'm sick to my stomach.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind branch mining. It can get real monotonous, just over and over again. You're doing the same thing. But I'm always curious of what's behind the next block. Is it going to be diamonds? Is it going to be redstone? What's it going to be? I always look at it in that sense.
Except now it's only going to be whatever Y level you're at now.
Right. And I think it's more fun now, not branch mining, just to go caving, because the caves are so beautiful in this update. So I'd rather go look for a cave, and it'll take you pretty deep, these different cave entrances. So that's what I've been trying to do. And you can find a lot in like deep water aquifers. I find a lot of different ores that way, because you're in the water, you can reach all these different ores. And most of the time there's a magma block down there, so you can breathe if you need a break. So I find that the best way to go get ores is finding one of those. Got to find one though. But besides all that, I've started training for my new job in real life, and doing that this week.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it's safety training, but I start tomorrow, and I'm pretty excited about it. Get to tour the plant. I'm at the coal plant doing maintenance, so
nice.
I know a couple guys that work here. Shouldn't be too bad. It is 6 days a week, but 8-hour days shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that's about it for my week.
Well, let's go ahead and hop into the news. We have the first pre-release. Kind of figured this was coming over the last month. I will start out saying that there is no release date for 1.19, but with pre-releases, we know it's generally soon. I think the longest I've seen pre-releases run is 2 months, but those were with some of the bigger updates. Was it 1.13, the aquatic update, that had like a 2-month pre-release? Like, we went to pre-release 11 or 12.
I can't remember.
I remember it being really long, and then Ripple Effect just kind of like started at a pre-release because we got tired of waiting.
I think you're right. Yeah, we did start a season in pre-release.
I think. I could be wrong. I'm pretty medicated right now, so I don't know. But yeah, pre-release number 1. They've slightly reduced the number of mangrove trees in the swamps. I'm assuming this is so boats can travel through there a bit easier.
Yeah, I never really thought about it that way. That could help.
Yeah.
Not as dense.
Correct.
I did kind of like the atmosphere with all the trees. I know it did make it difficult with the boats and everything.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to the atmosphere with the lightning bugs too, but I did like that dense look with the mangrove trees.
I did too. I haven't seen anything that looks extremely different from what we had earlier. So I don't know if we're just not getting good images or video, but it doesn't look like it's too bad, so.
Yeah, and everything I've seen is just from what I've been watching. I never got to experience it myself.
Right.
Just, I think I went to a deep dark, but that was like the very first snapshot when it came out, and that was about it. But yeah, I've never got to explore a mangrove swamp yet.
No. Endermen, skeletons, wither skeletons, and piglins now spawn in a wider range of light levels. This is in the Nether. The new light level is from 0 to 11. Yeah, it's not a big change.
Yeah, what was it before?
I don't know.
Was it a little higher or lower?
I guess it was 0 to 7.
Yeah, for Endermen, skeletons, wither skeletons. I think piglins always... Or no, that might be zombie pigmen.
zombie piglins basically, I think, can spawn in anything below 15.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people are like, why I lit everything up? It's like, well, it's really hard to keep 15 light level everywhere, so it's easier just to carpet.
Yep.
Carpet, half slab, all that stuff.
Yeah, if you want a hub that's spawn proof, it'd be best to do that.
Yeah. Item interaction vibrations are now emitted when you start using or finishing an item. Sorry, I'm reading this all crazy. But it basically applies to bows, crossbows, goat horns, shields, and food.
Mm-hmm.
But also when you're sneaking, those vibrations get ignored. So you can stay quiet and still eat. Knock your bow, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're the bow user. It's knock your bow.
The knock is you anchor it, really.
Yeah.
You anchor your bow. But yeah, the knock is on the other side of the arrow where the feathers are.
Yeah.
That's your knock. But when you put that on the string, you knock your bow.
See, I know terms.
Yeah, you got it. The vibrations, it's the sensitivity for the skulk sensor.
Right.
Just so people know. We didn't mention the skulk sensor, but yeah, the vibration interaction with the bows and the crossbows. When you pull back, skulk sensor picks up on that.
Yeah.
Thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I think there's a bug fix now when like you're putting armor on. It wasn't a problem in Java, or not Java, in Bedrock, but it was making the incorrect sounds when you were moving armor around. At least some of them. So it seems that has been fixed, but items such as pumpkins will play a generic equip sound when you put them on. It won't sound like armor.
Oh, okay.
Nothing big. Like, there was a decent amount of bug fixes, but that's kind of way it's been for the last 3 or 4 snapshots, have been little tweaks, little changes, and mostly bug fixes. We do have a couple game events, and it's basically just determining the vibration frequency. So like a note block has a vibration frequency of 6, and instrument play, which would basically be the goat horn, because I think that's the only instrument we have in the game, right?
Yeah, it's categorized as an instrument, not an item now.
Has a frequency of 15. Now, I don't know a lot about the frequency. Is that like redstone strength signal?
Vibration, I guess.
Vibration frequency of 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, maximum strength.
You would think.
Yeah.
Light level goes up to 15. Redstone goes up to 15. You would think that's the max.
Right.
But not positive.
Which makes me think, why is the note block so low?
Yeah. I could see the horn being a little louder, but not.
That's true.
6.
Yeah.
Is that what it was, 6? Yeah, you think it'd be louder than that.
Yeah, I'd put the note block at least 10.
Right. Yeah, a little bit lower, not over half. That's true.
But then again, I don't understand the vibration frequency thing altogether, so maybe I'm just completely wrong.
Yeah, we'll have to get used to it eventually, because it sounds like it's coming soon. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of bug fixes. Usually with snapshots, or pre-releases, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Very seldom do they give you something new. Like I think last time with the Nether, we got brutes out of nowhere.
Right.
After the release. So there's still possibilities of getting new things, but we're pretty much looking at changes coming.
Yeah.
Or fixes.
If they were to re-add anything late, I would assume it would be fireflies.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume it's just because of the backlash they received for removing fireflies.
Yeah. Yeah, they gave us a taste of that. A little bit of the birch forest, but they never really put that in game to show us. But the fireflies.
Yeah, we never saw it in game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of it for the news. Let's move into some comments. We got one from Raker. They say, my comment about the main discussion question is that I don't think Mojang has intentionally made things more difficult. I don't even think that they have made things more difficult at all. The question was very leading and assumed initially things were more difficult, but I think that it's more of a personal opinion. They've given us more of a choice and agency. We can now pick specific levels to have a higher chance of finding a particular. I think that's far less difficult and more interesting than we now choose where to mine. And see, this is personal opinion, because my opinion is that it's more difficult for me to mine things having to figure out the Y level to mine it at. Whereas I used to be able to just go down to Y level 11 and get everything.
Yeah, it's definitely a big game changer.
Yeah.
I guess you could find things at a certain level. It's very sparse in that case.
Yeah.
But if you really want to gather what you need, you might have to get, deeper into a more difficult area.
Well, see, and this comes down to people's gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a miner, if that's your gameplay, you love digging in the ground, then yes, this is not more difficult for you. This is awesome. This is great. Once I get out of the first month of playing, I don't want to go back in the ground unless I have to.
Yeah, though they did make it to where you got to explore caves pretty much. I mean, you could avoid them, but the caves, they made it less spawn proof or spawnable, by taking the light level down. So that helps the difficulty the other way, kind of balances a little bit.
But the caves are also bigger.
Right.
Which means you would need more torches in a cave than you would a branch mine.
Yeah, when I do come across these caves, there's still a lot of mobs.
Right.
It's not just very few, because it's all 0 in that case once you come across one of these.
Yeah.
It does take fewer torches to light these things than normal, but like you said, there's still a huge area.
Yeah, and like I said, it's all in the eye of the player.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might not find the change that drastic, and it's okay, but for me, it was a major change, and one that I did not recover from very well. I know how to fix it. I know what I need to do in the next season, but as I've said again, I don't like being underground. I don't like mining. It gets me sick to my stomach. I'd rather farm for materials, and the farming for materials aspect didn't become easier. So therefore, getting materials became more difficult. The ability of killing mobs has not become more difficult. The surviving aspect did not become more difficult, but the ability to gain materials quickly and more efficiently, because honestly, going to one Y level and just mining straight was a lot more efficient than going to different Y levels. Now, it is more efficient if you're only looking for red stuff. Then you can go to that Y level and mine. But early game, when you need everything, it's way more efficient to be 1Y level and go from there.
Yeah.
So again, it's all about how you play. That's what we've come across with Minecraft. Everybody plays the game differently.
Yeah, with 119 coming out, the difficulty was raised with the Deep Dark. Those ancient cities.
And see, to me, it doesn't raise the difficulty because I have no plans on exploring the Deep Dark.
Right. That's if you want to go there. If you want to experience that,
yeah,
you can go there and experience it. But if you don't want to, like if on a single player world, maybe you need some of that stuff that's there to move on to the next level. But in a multiplayer world, you have other members that could help you out in that sense.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to go.
And we'll talk more about that in our main discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to the other comment, this was posted on Discord, and it discusses difficulty a bit too. It's a couple tweets from Kingbdogz stating that he's pretty happy where the warden is. And let me just read it fully so I don't misspeak. Actually, I'm going to have you read it so I can not talk.
Oh no, I got to read this.
I know.
Okay, no, I understand. Kingbdogz tweeted, I'm pretty happy with where the warden is. I've seen some posts with ways to cheese it where people think we'll want to patch those methods. Sorry, it's small writing to me. I don't have good eyes. But he says, not really. I don't think it's bad to cheese the warden. It's just bad to do it in very obvious ways, like pillaring up 2 blocks. Then he also mentioned Minecraft is still a sandbox game in the end. Trying to force a style of gameplay to the most extreme ends wouldn't really serve the game well. Lightly nudging in a particular gameplay style direction feels more appropriate, and I think the warden does that.
And I agree. You're supposed to sneak around the warden, not attack the warden and kill it.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the warden is kind of OP if it spawns. There's very few have I seen someone actually survive a warden spawn without cheesing it.
Yeah, earlier before they made different adjustments, there was many ways of cheesing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen one as of right now, but it wasn't necessarily cheesing it. They were taking hits from the blast, but they were pillaring up so far to where they can reach it. It can't reach them, but they have to use their sonic blast, if that's what it's called. I don't know what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't knocking them off the pillar, so they were able to recoup and continuously hit the warden.
And that's another thing to remember. I think if you have full netherite armor,
Mm-hmm.
knockback
Right.
is like one of those automatic things you have on there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't get knocked off a pillar.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, you still have to go through the difficulty of gathering netherite gear to cheese the warden. You know, it's not like you can go in there with nothing. And the fact that there's the only incentive of killing the warden, well, I guess to get the loot a little easier, you're still liable to set off the Shrieker again and spawn him again. So it's not that, you know, once he's done, he's done. He could come back. So it is best to sneak around. But he doesn't drop really anything. What is it, a sensor or isn't it just a sensor? A Shrieker maybe?
I think it's just a Shrieker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not worthy loot, and it was never supposed to be worthy loot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
To me, the big thing is on servers like us who have mob head drops, a warden head will be the prize.
Yeah.
People will be putting that on the mantle.
Mm-hmm. I could see it being a fun group activity. You know, let's go explore the ancient city.
That's true.
And see who the warden goes after and laugh at that person.
If I were to go to a deep dark, that's how I would want to do it. Would be a group project to just like, let's go down there, set our spawn, drop the armor, and mess around, see who dies the most.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Be like a game.
The sneak gameplay in video games, I have never been a fan of. Like, I love the Assassin's Creed games, but the sneak playthrough parts were always my least favorite.
Yeah, I never minded it. Never minded. What was it? A long time ago with Solid Snake. What game was that?
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid. That's pretty much, you know, what it was, the sneak attack kind of game.
Yeah.
My buddy was always into that, and I couldn't get into it. It was pretty popular though.
You just put the cardboard box over your head.
Yeah. It's cool to see all these different aspects of Minecraft though. You know, you don't have to sneak normally, but now, you know, you have a reason, at least during pillaging or looting.
Yeah.
Building, you'd have to sneak.
But is that all we have for listener comments?
I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with Kingbdogz also.
Thank you for that question, Raker. That comment was from our Discord. It's the only place you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Casey's word for it.
Hello there, crafters. Casey Plays here. The Withering Effect Discord is a big part of the show. It's the first place the team look for listener comments, and the only place to vote in mending Minecraft. If you've been thinking about joining for a while, now is a great time to get involved in our amazing community. Just follow the link in the show notes.
Thank you for the Discord ad, Casey. And speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week we asked you to choose between one of 3 structures for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were Buried Treasure, Shipwreck, and Ocean Monument.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... Ocean Monument. Ocean Monument had 28 votes, 15 votes for Buried Treasure, and 8 for the Shipwreck. I was kind of rooting for Ocean Monument.
How dare you?
No, you didn't like that?
Nope.
Oh, I like the Ocean Monument. So a few things before we get started on the Ocean Monument. Ocean monuments, also known simply as monuments, are rare underwater structures found in deep ocean biomes and different ocean variants. They are made out of prismarine blocks, prismarine bricks, dark prismarine, and sea lanterns, pretty much all the prismarine variations, and are inhabited by guardians and elder guardians. This is the only place also where you can find sponges. When approaching the monument, a mining fatigue will affect the player due to the 3 elder guardians that reside there, and will not go away until the 3 elders are defeated. Around the center of the central section lies the treasure chamber, a tall room with 8 gold blocks encased in dark prismarine, and you can obtain Ocean Explorer maps, which are bought from cartographer villagers with emeralds, so you can easily access these ocean monuments. But that's about it.
Ocean monuments are one of the completest structures in the game. Words are hard. So there wasn't a lot to fix with ocean monuments. You give me a shipwreck? Sure. Buried treasure? I have a whole list of stuff for that. But an ocean monument? It's a structure that houses mobs that can be converted into a farm. It's a great structure in Minecraft. I was very confused on why this one got upgrades or wanted upgrades. And I think it's because it's been around so long
Probably.
that people just assume and needs a fix. And there were several things I started listing, but it turns out I was fixing the guardians and not the structure itself.
Yeah.
I ended up losing a good 5 or 6 items because I was like, I'm not here to fix guardians. I'm here to fix the structure itself.
What's funny is I think you're right. I think it pretty much got voted in because it's the oldest and popularity, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm looking at the Discord now, and most of the time the members like to discuss, what's being voted on, and nothing about the monument is there. So not even the Discord could come up with something to change. It is a pretty complete structure. I agree.
Right. There are a couple things I would fix. One, sponge rooms should be a guarantee.
Absolutely.
The last 3 ocean monuments I've done have not had a sponge room.
Okay.
Between single player and SMP, it's like, that's a loss.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't happen. Maybe in the amount of sponges, like I think you should be able to get up to like 2 stacks of sponges in one of these things.
Yeah, I didn't mention this, but there's up to 30 sponges per sponge room.
Right.
So it says approximately 30 wet sponges, yeah.
Yeah. And a sponge is a decent loot. I know there's people saying, you barely kind of use it. It's a decent loot. I'd put it up there as a higher quality loot.
Yeah, and it's very rare.
Right. So sponge rooms should definitely be a guarantee, and I wanted to add more loot. Now, and before I go too far this, I want to explain my thought process. I'm sure you don't see chests or loot and stuff like that because when Mojang designed them, Guardians don't have hands. Why would they use a chest and all that stuff? Guardians don't need things.
There is something here that explains why there's no chests.
Okay.
It was because you couldn't waterlog them.
Correct. Okay.
And it looked weird.
Yes.
So that was the main reason why they didn't have them in the first place.
Yeah. I figured that was also, but lore-wise.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now you can waterlog chests.
Mm-hmm.
We should add loot. And lore-wise, why it works is, 1, the Guardians did not build the Ocean Monument. They don't have hands.
True.
So somebody built the Ocean Monument. In my lore, so I'm going to say my lore so people don't get confused, is that the Drowned built the Ocean Monument and the Guardians kicked them out and stole it.
They took over.
So there you would find drowned loot like a trident, a conduit, maybe water breathing potions, stuff like that. Not excessively great loot, but upper tier loot that makes traveling to multiple monuments worth it, especially if you're getting sponges with the side.
Yeah, some kind of loot relative to the monument.
Right.
Maybe like a water breathing.
Yeah.
A book.
And that one little bit of lore gives you an insight on the fixes I was coming up for Guardians. So if they show up in Mending Minecraft, there you go.
Yeah, that's a mob we never really talked about.
I don't think it's ever been up for vote. I think Elder Guardian has, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's one thing I wish they could change is I feel like the mining fatigue takes so long. Like I'm not sure how long it lasts, but it seems like forever. Like when you defeat the monument, normally you'd chug a bucket of milk because that's how much you need, I guess, is a whole bucket of milk. And then when you do that, all your enchantments are gone. Or not enchantments, your spells from your... why can't I think of this? From your potions, your potion effects. So you have another set of those just to go down and grab the sponges. But I always felt like it shouldn't be that long. Like once the Elder Guardians are done, I feel like there's like 4 minutes left on the clock. You gotta wait to go back down and get your sponges. I feel like it should be less than that. I don't care if they widen the area, when you get closer. I don't think I have a distance range of how the mining fatigue affects you from how far. I think it's like beacon length. Not too sure. I'm sure that's under Elder Guardian. This isn't a monument thing, but yeah, that always bothered me.
Yeah. Those were the only 2 fixes I had for the monument. Like I said, the monument itself feels mostly complete. I kind of figured the no chests were because of you weren't able to waterlog them at the time. And lore-wise, it didn't make sense for Guardians to have chests because they don't have hands. So, yeah.
Right.
But now that you can waterlog chests and with a tweak to the lore, it definitely warrants some loot. So that would be a cool change I'd like to see.
Yeah, they weren't drowned at the time anyway.
Yeah.
They couldn't use that lure then. They can now.
Mm-hmm. Let's head into our main topic because it's a decently large one.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the pre-release coming out, we assume there's no more major features being brought forth for the 1.19 update. Jimbo and I have decided to do a tier list of what we think about everything in the update. And I thought it was cool that the pre-release came out because it turns out we were going to do this before the pre-release came out. When did we say, hey, let's do a tier list?
It had to have been a few days ahead of time. I was going to mention it to you, like we should do it this week.
Yeah.
And you ended up messaging me that. And I was like, hey, great minds think alike.
May 16th, I messaged you, hey, let's do a tier list. And you're like, dude, I was going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So May 16th, we had the idea for the tier list. And sure enough, it worked out that it was a pre-release. So that's awesome.
Good timing.
Good timing.
We're not really good at timings either, but we nailed that one.
That being said, I'm going to pull something up real quick. So I have a bigger view of what items are what.
There's some things that are left off. We went on a website and did this. They have, everything made up for us. We can make a tier list. There are some items that weren't there that we're going to have to throw in there. And I was just thinking about them as we got to this subject because we didn't bring it up ahead of time. We're missing the discs and we're missing the compass and the shard. What's the shard called?
Echo shards.
Echo shards. We're missing those. So
yeah, all that's missing.
Yeah, they're not up to date there, I guess, at the tier maker.
I'm going to hit back real quick, see if they show up. The website crashed. It couldn't handle us calling it out.
Mm-hmm. They're like, oh man, we better fix it. We're adding echo shards as we speak.
Let's start with the warden. That's the biggest, baddest thing on the list, right?
Yeah. You want my opinion?
Actually, I want to preface that on my original list, I never put anything in need more info or will hurt game.
Mm-hmm.
I never put anything down there. I will now, but
there's a tier lower than that. I didn't touch that tier, but I did add a few in that category you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the warden. Where have you placed the warden?
I put it in the S tier. I don't know. I love the fact I like the challenge. I love the fact that there's a new boss or what'd you call it? What kind of boss is it? It's a different kind of boss. Not a main boss, but it's a pretty tough opponent. I love its animations. I love the way its mechanics, the way it senses you, doesn't necessarily see you. It can attack anything that's around. It's kind of derpy. I like the warden, in the last update and the update before that, I believe. But we're getting it now, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, I put the warden under cool. I don't know what mine says game changer, great addition, cool, meh, need more info, will hurt game.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. S is game changer. We'll categorize it like that.
I have mine in the mid tier under cool. The warden's cool, but I have no urge to go mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think its abilities, it's the crawling out of the ground. It's scary as crap, but it's a mob that doesn't provide anything useful for the game, and I understand that was its design function, but that also hurts someone like me who likes to have mobs that serve that secondary purpose. So it just goes under cool because to me it's an ambience mob.
Yeah,
it's an ambience mob that wants to kill you.
I like to do the next one as the animation. Like apparently the animation is one of the big updates.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it looks like in our tier list. It looks like the animation from the warden, and I have it as cool. I think it's cool. Not the best thing ever. Not too sure why it's in the tier list. I mean, it is a cool animation. There's a bunch of different animations added, but this animation seems to be on the tier list, and I put it at cool.
I have it in the exact same spot. I don't think it's really the animation. I think it's the sound echo attack, whatever it's called.
Okay.
I can't think of the name now. That's the other thing. Our tier list doesn't give the names
Sonic Blast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that. And I put it under cool because it's a different attack than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Most range attack is throwing or shooting things. So the fact that it's a sonic boom, that's cool to me. That's a change. So yeah, I like it. Let's hop into some of the other mobs. Let's keep the mob streak going.
Okay.
Let's start with tadpoles in a bucket. Meh.
I have tadpoles under meh.
The fact that you could scoop them up in a bucket seems like an obvious thing.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know why it's on the tier list, but it was there.
Yeah, I have tadpoles in a bucket below tadpoles. I think it's just because tadpoles is a new mob.
I did the same thing, so let's move to tadpoles because I have tadpoles under cool.
Yeah, but I feel like, now thinking about it, I like the fact that you can put them in buckets because you would like a different color frog to get a different frog light. So the fact that you can put them in a bucket makes that easier to get different types of frogs. So I could move that up.
And I had thought about it. The only reason I didn't move it up is because we've come to expect that we can scoop up water mobs in a bucket.
Right, that's true.
We can do it with oxalotls, we could do it with fish. So I assumed we were going to be able to do that with the tadpoles, and we can, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that should be, I don't know, the same thing. When you're talking about tadpoles, you're talking about tadpoles and buckets in general.
I kind of agree. You're right.
I don't know why they're separated.
I'll count tadpoles in general. I say they're cool because anytime you add a new mob to the game, it's at least going to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it doesn't have super functionality. Like the warden I have right next to the tadpole. Because functionally, technically, a tadpole can almost do more than the warden for me, personally. And the fact that they become a frog and they can give me frog lights. Whereas a warden's just going to kick my butt. So.
True. You can actually farm those.
Correct.
Well, I guess you could farm the warden, but why would you?
Yeah, why would you? There's no point. And I agree with Mochang's decision they don't want it to be a farmable mob.
Mm-hmm.
They want it to do away. They did exactly what they said, but it doesn't matter to me. Tadpoles. Tadpoles are just as good as wardens on my list.
Staying on the tadpole thing, the spawn eggs, or is it frog spawn?
Frog spawn.
Yeah, they have that separated, which I guess it could be. I have it as underneath a meh, need more info.
I didn't even put it on my list because of that, because I didn't want it to be considered low on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But it would look great as a decoration piece, but if you're constantly going to have tadpoles spawning in there and turning into frogs, that would kind of ruin it for that.
Okay.
I just considered them tadpoles.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can walk on them when they're in water.
I don't think you can. I think you can destroy them on a boat, can't you?
I don't know. You think you could. Instead of running into them, you think you'd harm them.
I don't know. But let's go to the final stage of the tadpole and the frog.
Okay.
I've got frog under cool.
That's where I got it. Frog's pretty cool.
Frog's pretty cool. The animation's cute. I will definitely have frogs around my base no matter where I am staying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that there's different variants.
Yes. Different colors are very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a lot of mobs do that. Some do, but not many.
Mm-hmm.
We got that with the frog. And the animations. Animations are the best.
Yeah.
The way they croak.
I love watching frogs walk. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Jump from lily pad to lily pad. I think that's my favorite part with the frogs, or the animations.
I hope they give the frog, the memes of the cats lining up a jump, and they go to jump and they end up way short. And they just fall.
That'd be great.
I want the frogs to be able to do that.
Just inaccurate when they jump all the time. Yeah. That'd be hilarious.
Constantly landing in the water and missing the lily pad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd love that. Now, there is something on here that they didn't give us, and that's the frog lights. Figure we'd talk about that next.
I have frog lights under great addition.
Yeah, that's where I got it.
New light sources are always great. I will say I do not like the texture of the frog light, but I do think it's very cool that you can rotate the frog light.
Yeah.
I think the Verde, frog light, just looks too much like a sea lantern. It looks like an ugly sea lantern.
Yeah.
The other ones are different enough that I could see myself using them for some things. Now, the process of getting frog lights is kind of a pain, so I don't see them overtaking light sources, but I feel that it's a good step. Like I said, it's really only the textures about frog lights I don't fully like. The technique you get them, yeah, but somebody's going to have a farm for these guys.
Right. Yeah, I think they have to, got to be the magma cubes that they eat to get these froglites.
The tiny magma cubes, too.
Mm-hmm. They can be bred with slime, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not how I think they eat slime and produce slime balls. So it's another killing mechanism for slimes. That should be fun.
Yeah.
So the frog's got a lot going for it. The last mob we got is what was voted on.
Mm-hmm.
The LA.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have it pretty low. Just because the category I have it in is need more info.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need to find one of these things and have one before I can actually judge this thing. Because what I was thinking I could use it for doesn't seem practical. So it's a wait and see type of thing. I could move it up to meh, which is above need more info, just because it's a new mob and it looks great.
Yeah. I have it under cool because I will not put any new mob under cool unless I feel it's actively hurting the game. And I don't think the LA actively hurts the game. I agree with you in the fact that what we all expected it able to do doesn't seem like it's a thing that's going to happen. My biggest disappointment is it doesn't look like we can breed these things.
No.
It looks like we have to go find them.
They're rare.
And for people who play on an SMP, we all know the kind of person who's quite literally just going to spend the first weeks or so gathering all the LAs within the first 5,000 block radius.
Oh, I hope not.
And no one's going to get them but that person. And they're just going to try to make a machine with it that's not going to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd have to gather up so many, put these in like some kind of item sorter, which is
right.
Initially what I thought they would be useful for.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty rare. There's not many of them.
I definitely like the idea of having like a little buddy follow you around and grab stuff for you.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in a good enough process yet to move it. I want to put it under Great Edition.
Me too.
I really do, but I haven't seen enough to warrant it. We're on pre-release 1 and I haven't seen the LA look complete yet.
Yep. And we're going to, make a new tier list eventually once we get to play with all these things, and it could move up in that sense, but
oh yeah. We'll save these pictures and we'll redo the tier list once we played with the new snapshot.
And we'll add all the things that weren't added.
Yep.
Which is, I'm just thinking of another one that's not in here.
What's it?
Besides the echo shards, is the goat horns.
But see, we've had goat horns.
Yeah, I guess they were in there. It's a little different now, though, with the music.
Yeah. Ripple Effects had goat horns, so it's nothing new for us.
Well, since we're there, where would you put those?
Meh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They don't really do anything.
Mm-hmm. It's an instrument.
If they were to bring the copper goat horns that actually let you play notes and stuff, it would be higher on the list.
We're not getting those yet?
We're not getting them.
Oh, I thought we were getting those.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a meh.
At least I don't think so.
Yeah, now that you say that, I don't think it was... I thought it was in a snapshot. That might have been Bedrock.
It was in a snapshot, and then they said it's an extremely experimental and was probably going to be taken back out. And I haven't seen it put in anything else since.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it since that one time, so we can go swamp or we can go ancient cities. So we're starting to come up on the biomes now.
Let's do swamp.
I have it as Great Edition.
The swamp itself, I have Great Edition. Well, it's Mangrove Swamp, obviously.
Yeah, Mangrove Swamp. Yeah, I really love the look of it. And it gives you a lot of different stuff, which is something we can talk about. Like the mangrove wood. I like the mangrove wood, but I do like the other woods better. So I put it under cool.
I have mangrove wood under Great Edition.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the red color. I really like how we got trapdoors, doors, like full-on versions of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people is like, well, you should kind of expect that. Hey, with our stairs and slabs issues still going around, I don't fully expect anything. So the fact that we've got all the different versions, wood types for mangrove wood, and the red color was nice. It's not... Mojang has this thing for bright, vibrant colors, and it hurts me to build with those. Like, physically hurts me. I can't explain it. Like,
Yeah.
none of my builds have super bright, vibrant colors. It's just,
That's not really your style.
it's not my style. So the fact I have a bit of a subdued red is really nice. I'll be bringing some more reds into my builds. And I really like the shapes of the trapdoors and the door and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I like how they're different shapes and stuff to give them a whole different look. Yeah, I do like this red look better than the Nether. Like you said, it's pretty much those two woods that are more vibrant than the other, and it makes sense that they're in a different dimension, so they can do that if they wanted to those woods.
yeah, this is the color I imagine when I heard Crimson Wood or whatever it was we were gonna get. Instead, we got this purple.
Yeah.
At least people are saying I'm colorblind. I don't know what color. To me, Crimson Wood looks purple.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if anyone else sees this. This
little
mangrove
purple tint.
wood, that's crimson to me.
When you mentioned there was purple in Blackstone, I thought you were colorblind. But you could see it a little bit.
I only said that because Carl said that, and then I went, holy crap, there is.
Carl could see. Crazy. Next in the swamp would be the roots, about the rooted block.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you have that one?
I have it as cool. It's a nice transparent block. The fact that it can hold and waterlog water, it can hold mud, that's cool. On its own, it's not a very good looking block. It needs stuff around it to work. So I don't have any higher than cool, but it's higher than some of the other stuff on this list. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, initially we would have had it lower, but they did give it some cool features. And I have it under cool now, but I think I'm going to move it up. Not all the way to Game Changer, but Great Addition. Just because, like you said, it can be waterlogged.
Mm-hmm.
It can also run redstone. Like, it does a lot of cool things, and it's spawn proof, I believe, unless that got changed. I think frogs can spawn on it or something like that, but certain mobs can. But yeah, it's something different that we don't have from other blocks. But then again, they also gave some of those features to the leaf blocks.
Right.
Like, you can now waterlog leaf blocks and stuff. So you don't necessarily need the root block to get these cool, abilities.
Yep.
I can't move it to Game Changer for that sense. In that sense.
I went ahead and sent you a better link that completes the stuff we were missing.
Oh, look at that.
So we can go by that now too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mudded root blocks. Wow. Yeah, there's so much stuff that was missing.
Yeah. But talking about mud, let's well, actually, we should talk about the mangrove seed, the way it works.
Yeah.
I have that as very cool because it's so different from the way we plant saplings and stuff now.
Yeah.
Even with the nether trees, I mean, yeah, they're mushrooms and stuff, but you still place them on a block of bone meal. The fact that they will fall out of the tree, you could put them in water, very cool.
Yeah, I do think they're cool. I have them under meh.
Meh?
Just because it's just another sapling for another tree, but it is different.
It is different.
It's definitely different. There's different stages to it and everything.
My biggest worry is I don't want them to grow on a tree and then fall out of a tree and then grow another tree right under a tree.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works, but again, I feel like we didn't get much detail in this snapshot.
Yeah, because it's got to play with it, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I can't wait for it to come out so all my nuanced questions can get answered.
Mm-hmm. So mud.
Mud. I like mud.
I like mud too.
I have it under Great Addition.
Me and you both. It's a great addition to the game. Usually you'd have to take a block and make it look like mud.
Yes.
But now we got it.
Yeah. The mud is a little bit purplish to me. Again, the Mojang and the purples.
I see darkest gray. But you're going to force it on me. I know you are.
Well,
It's going to turn purple here in the next 2 minutes.
I mean, if you really want to get to it, it really looks like a dark cyan terracotta.
Yeah, that's what I see. More texture.
I would have liked a little bit of brown because all the mud I say that. I'm from North Carolina. We don't have brown mud and dirt. Everything around here is red because of clay.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is funny because clay in the game is light gray. Clay around here is bright orange red.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think mud, you'd think brown, a deep dark brown.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because we have so many different brown textures. But then again, when you dry these mud blocks, they become, dried. What is it? It's called mud blocks, actually. Or bricks. Is that what it is?
Yes, bricks.
Yeah, that's brown. Actually, a little tannish brown. But they look great.
They do.
I have it under Great Edition.
Packed mud, then bricks. Thank you, Omni. Omni's listening in live.
We needed you there, Omni.
I'd have them a little higher if we had all the variants.
Well, we have slabs, blocks, and stairs, right?
Well, I don't think there's any walls.
Yeah. I was just about to ask about walls.
Because I think this would look very good as a wall.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully they add that. There's still time.
Mud bricks. I'm looking to make sure there are stairs and slabs. There are... Oh, no, there is walls. I was wrong.
Nice. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
I wanted to make sure I've never seen anyone use the wall, but there is a mud brick wall.
Nice.
So, GG. I would move it higher then. Well, I already have it as Great Edition. It's not a game changer. Great Edition.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to do with mud? I think that's it.
Yes. Well, there's one more thing with the swamp, and that's the boat chest boats.
Oh, yeah. Great Edition.
I have it under meh.
Meh?
Yeah. I know it helps with inventory a little bit, some storage options, but wait. No, if you break it, it separates, right? All your items come out.
Well, the items, yeah, I think will come out, but you won't get a boat and then a chest and then all your items.
Yeah, I think we talked about that, and I said it would make sense to separate them because the minecart and hoppers do that. But did they fix the minecart hopper thing? Did they stay together?
Now, all of those stay together.
Okay, yeah, so that's fine then.
Literally, like, the week after we produced that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I don't know, it's good early game, I guess. It might be cool to see.
The fact is, we have an Elytra and everyone's going to be moving around with one.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to use it as much. As cool as they are, I'm probably not going to use it.
I love how I said we were definitely not going to go over time, and we have gone over time.
Yeah, well, there's like 8 things that weren't on our original list that we had to add.
This is true.
I guess we can hurry up and get to the deep dark.
Yeah, I guess let's count most of the skulk together. I do have the skulk block separated, but let's do that before we do deep dark.
Pretty much all my skulk is in the Great Edition. The Shrieker, the Sensor, everything is in Great Edition.
All of my skulk, minus the one block, is under meh. Because, again, it's my gameplay. My gameplay style has nothing to do with that. Now, the skulk block that holds XP from the catalyst, the catalyst block where that's game changer for me, because now you can store XP.
I think that's the highest one you got, wasn't
it? It is. And that being said, it is just barely there. Because in all reality, you've got to create this block using a farm anyways. So you're still having to travel to a farm to get XP. If you could bottle this XP, that would be different, because you can just use it wherever you're at.
Yeah, and it's got to be player mined too. Like, you could ignite TNT and mine it a little quicker, but you can't pull a lever to light that TNT. That won't give you the XP in that sense. One thing I learned.
No. Skulk's meh for me.
I'm a fan of the deep dark. Did we do the deep dark?
Not yet. I think we're doing all the items in the deep dark, saving deep dark for last.
Okay, so next would be Echo Shards.
Yeah, meh.
I'll put it in the middle. Meh is in the middle.
Yeah, they only do one thing, and that's create the recovery compass, and you don't get enough of those in a single trip to the ancient city to create a recovery compass, so it's meh.
Right. Yep. Now the compass, on the other hand, that's cool.
Meh.
I do like the compass. You think it's a meh too?
Again, this is my playstyle. It's a meh.
I love the idea of it in the feature.
I think it's a very good idea, and I think a lot of people who just casually play Minecraft, who are not into a lot of the technical aspects, the recovery compass is a huge, awesome thing. But for me, it's just the way I play. I have no problem going and making new armor and tools and stuff.
Yeah. See, I do a lot of caving and stuff, so it'd be nice to have one of those if I do die.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
What about the disc? The new disc? I guess we can add that with the shards. Put it all together.
Well, see, the disc, I said nothing was in my lower tiers. The disc is the only thing that's now down there. Will hurt the game.
Ah.
I have the disc down there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you only have to hear it once. I see it as like a collectible. I put it as meh. I mean, I always like a good disc.
Yeah.
Even if it's not all that great of a tune. I mean, lately, it's hard to beat the discs that are coming out now.
And that's its downfall for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we had some great music discs come out before it.
Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely great music. And then we got this. And it comes in pieces. So you have to put it together.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make whatever the heck that sound is.
Yeah. It's not even a song. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a mystery. You know, it's a clue. You got to find the clues to put together. But even when you put the clues all together, it's still not clear what's going on this thing.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those satanic things you're supposed to spin backwards to get a clue to find the ancient treasure.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't work yet.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something to do with the portal, but
yeah,
it's technically not a portal yet.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
But speaking of portal, I'm gonna say portal block is on here also. There's really nothing you can do with it, so I don't.
Yeah, meh.
I don't know if we should even rank that. Yeah, meh.
It was my favorite new block. Looking at it, I love the absolute texture of the iron and the deep slate. Oh, I can't touch it. I can't pick it up. Meh.
Right.
Stop teasing me like that.
It's just there.
Yeah.
What's it called? Reinforced deep slate is what it's called, I believe.
Yeah. Meh.
I think there's one more thing to cover.
Swift Sneak.
Swift Sneak. Yep.
Swift Sneak is, for me, great addition.
Yeah.
It would be higher if I could get it from somewhere else than having to travel to ancient cities. But
you know what? I'm going to put it as game changer just because it's the only thing you can put on the leggings now. I think that's a big.
And see, the fact that you could put it on the leggings, I would just have it as under cool because it's not really a thing you need. It's not Feather Falling 4. It's not Depth Strider 3, Unbreaking, Mending.
It gives my pinky a break, though. I don't have to sneak as long, I guess.
See, if you used a controller, your hand wouldn't hurt as much.
Yeah, my pinky's, especially building that palace.
Oh, yeah.
Been under some stress lately.
Yeah. So the last thing on the list is Ancient Cities.
Yeah, I have it as game changer. It's the highest rank I got.
Meh. I left Jimbo speechless.
Yeah, I mean, that's not your style. I get it.
Meh. Well, and not even so much my style, but the loot inside of them does not warrant me going out of my playstyle to explore.
Yeah.
Swift Sneak is a very good enchantment, but it's not Mending.
Mm-hmm.
Mending is a game-changer advancement.
That's huge, yeah.
Or a game-changing enchantment.
Yeah, I think with it's not so much Deep Dark, but the ancient cities, it's just the new buildings, the new look of it, having the new mob there. I love the look of it.
They're gorgeous. It's a great build. I don't understand the fact that there's redstone tutorials inside of them. I guess you can be far into Minecraft and still not understand redstone to explore the ancient cities.
Maybe.
I don't know. They're just not me.
I feel like that's for the redstone tutorials, like for the younger audience, but then the Deep Dark's for the older audience, so it's kind of two conflicting things there.
Yeah. I'm going to learn redstone. I'm going to YouTube.
Right.
Not an ancient city.
You might see something that you might want to use, though, I guess.
Maybe. I get not wanting to have people leave your game to find information and come back to it, but that's kind of how Minecraft's always been.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we head off any longer, I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I think it's all we got. If we're missing anything, guys, let us know.
Yep. And before Jimbo reads us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Arrington, Omni, Croc, Fragile Rock, Casey Plays Games, Vipers Tuna, and Wire Guy. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow so you never miss a future episode. or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting with us. You should probably go drink some milk now. Bye.
See you guys.
We're not going to run over on time this week, 100% sure.